Oh, welcome to Limbo. You're a bit early, yes, but then again, it's not your time anyway. Uh, I digress. I'm the Grim Reaper, or at least that's what you might know me as. No, don't worry. Like I said, it's not your time yet. I'm just here to keep you company after the incident. You're in limbo, like, after all. And honestly, it's in my job description to not only help those get to their afterlife, but also comfort those in limbo when I have the time. And I do have the time right now. So I'm just here to keep you company until you come to. Oh, do I have an official name rather than just the Grim Reaper? I did once. Before I became the Reaper, I suppose. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't always the Grim Reaper. I was once a normal human like you. But when it was finally my time, there wasn't anyone to guide me to the afterlife. So, when I finally made it there, it was awful. And I managed to talk to the big guy, the guy upstairs, however you want to call him, and convinced him to let me guide others to the afterlife. But there was a catch. It was at the cost of my own. So, yeah. I don't know. Some might see this as a fate worse than death, but I can't complain. I brought this upon myself, after all. It does just get a little lonely sometimes, though, after all. After all, as odd as it may sound, time doesn't really flow the same here as it does for you. And because of that, there's a lot of time when I'm just alone. Just alone. But it's okay. After all, I was alone in my previous life anyway. It's nothing I'm not used to. But anyway, I'm supposed to be here to be keeping you company. You're not supposed to be the one to comfort me, so I'll get off on that tangent. Alright, so, as I was saying, it's not your time at all. In fact, you still have a long life ahead of you. It's just that a little incident happened that basically sent you to limbo for a time. And like I said, with how the flow of time here is different, not only do I guide others to the afterlife, but I also stick with those in limbo. Or at least the ones in limbo that are meant to come back. After all, limbo in itself is an afterlife, I suppose. and that's okay. Anyways, while we're here, I suppose I can give you a little rundown of where you're heading so far in life. If you would like, of course. After all, I know when it is when each person's time comes. And because of that, I would also know where they are going. But that can change at times. But so far, over the course of your life, you have done everything you can to be an amazing person. And from my records, I can say that so far you have succeeded. It says that you're going up. That's where I went to. I even temporarily got a chance to meet my guardian angel. That, then again, that was very short-lived. Hey, like I said, I know it's still a very long time until you go up there. But if you remember, if you see an guardian angel by the name of Shai, can you tell him hello? Can you tell him that? Actually, funny enough, my name is also Shai. I guess it was meant to be. But anyways, if you do see Shai, can you tell him that his charge that became the Reaper said hello? It would mean a lot to me. Yeah. He did a lot for me. And it was really hard for him to see me make the decision to give up my afterlife. But I just wanted to make sure that nobody had to go through the same awful trip to the afterlife that I had to go to. It may suck, but I don't know. If I had the chance to go back and redo all my decisions, I wouldn't change any of them. And that's okay. Anyways, I was talking about myself again. I'm sorry. Back to you. Alright, so... like I said, it's not your time. You have a long, prosperous life ahead of you. These sort of things just happen sometimes. There are definitely cases of people that have even gone to the afterlife before it was their time. Albeit it is more rare than now, than just being a bit of limbo. I do suppose that the limbo would be more common of the two. But anyway, you have been doing an amazing job. I have faith that you will be prosperous in your life. After all, you did seem to care about a person you just met. And that is a very good show of character. Not many people I've guided or even just kept company seemed to take any interest in me. They just wanted to get it done and over with. But then I suppose that there's you. I don't know. I suppose that you've brought my faith in humanity back. And that's okay. I'm glad, honestly. Because it's people like you that ensure me that I made a good decision in this. But anyway. And I suppose another thing is, a word of advice from your friendly neighborhood reaper. Don't fear your time coming. Just make the most out of it. Don't try to extend. Don't try to extend what time you have left. That's just going to make it not be as good of a time. Live each day to its fullest. You will find so much more satisfaction in your life. And I do mean that. Anyways. I suppose another thing is, you don't need to explain yourself to me. After all, with my knowledge of, when each and every person's time is, I know who everyone is. I know that you are an incredible person that would do whatever they can to brighten up people's days. And honestly, I'm honestly kind of surprised that there are still people like this in the world. Because, after all, people just don't seem to care about others anymore. Which is really sad. But then there's you. Someone who cares about others very much. It does restore my faith in humanity. The faith I lost a very long time ago. Thank you for that. And it's okay if you forget about this entire conversation. After all, I'm just here to keep you company until you come back too. You don't need to take any of this to heart. I'm just telling you what I have seen so far. Alright. Okay. But I do suppose if you are to take any of what I've said to heart, have it be to live each day to its fullest. Please. That is one of my deepest regrets. Whereas, like, I never did have the knowledge of my own time. I was still constantly worried about everything. I didn't live each day to its fullest. And I deeply regret that. And that is why I'm saying this. It's not a ruse. It is legitimately because I want the best for every person. It may be part of my job to guide others to the afterlife, but I don't get to choose where they go. And it does pain whatever soul I have left whenever I have to take someone to the other place, take them downstairs. But then again, those people are usually the meanest to me. But even so, I just want everyone to be happy, which I can't do with what powers I have. After all, I do know from what people have told me that I am often depicted as the one that does what that basically cuts each person's thread, per se. But that's not true in the slightest. All I do is guide people to where they go in the afterlife. In that regards, I would be more similar to the ferryman on the river Styx. I don't do the actual act myself. I just take them to where they need to go. But that's okay. After all, I chose this for myself. And I don't regret it at all. Thank you so much for listening to this tortured soul for so long. And I'm sorry that I was rambling so much. It's, like I said, it's not often I talk to someone, let alone talk to someone who does actually seem to care about, like, me, of all people. Thank you for that. I really do mean it. Anyways, we've been talking for a while. If I were to guess, I'd say you'd be coming to any time now. So, like I said, you don't need to take any of this to heart. But if I would suggest one thing, it would be to live each day to its fullest. Alright? Okay. It honestly is kind of sad that I'm saying this, but it is also the best outcome. Let's hope we only meet one more time. I know that purgatory isn't the most pleasant, and yeah. I wish that I would get more chances to talk to you, honestly. But that can't happen. Did you just call me your friend? Oh. Thank you. Thank you. It's been so long since since someone has actually considered me their friend. I appreciate it. And if you consider me your friend, it only makes sense that I would consider you mine. Alright. There we go. Looks like you're starting to fade out of purgatory. I guess that means you're coming too. Goodbye, my friend. In most situations, you would want to say, I hope we meet again more than once, but sadly, due to the nature of the job, I can't. So, goodbye. Till when you meet again. Sadly, for the final time. Goodbye.